So what were you saying about your about
pregnancies,
3 pregnancies? Yeah.
yeah. The first one and the last ones were heavy, and then and the middle one wasn't. It was, as I didn't put any weight on, maybe because it was so close to the first one, the second one. You know, with the milk as well, expressing the milk and so on and so forth. The first one I listened to whales, the sound of whales when I was, carrying.
Yeah.
And that was seemed to be, you could feel the movement of the baby a lot. Up in the mountains, when I lived up in the mountains, with little resources, you kind of just, yes. So that was quite interesting. The second one we were a bit more stable, so maybe that, it was like the body kind of was okay then. But that was a quick pregnancy because I was busy with the first one.
Yeah.
I know that with pregnancy physically, water retention, and that kind of put a lot of pressure into your confidence as well.
When you say water retention, so how do it actually?
Well, just swell up. You just balloon. And I was living in California.
Yeah.
And
yeah. It's not a good time to talk, or
it was. I lived in California as well, so physically I looked pretty much Mexican. There was a lot of discrimination there too, because we were looking for an apartment, let's say, or a house, and nobody really wanted to rent to us because I look Mexican.
Because you look Mexican, or because you are pregnant and you...
Yes, both pregnant and look Mexican. Yeah. So there was a lot of pressure there. Though my husband didn't see it at the time, but he wouldn't see it. He was, he's English, so he wouldn't have ever even experienced that type of discrimination ever. Though I'm Canadian, Spanish and Greek, I have no problem being Mexican if I was Mexican, but I think that they have a problem with the Mexicans. So that's the issue, isn't it? So, I remember being sick with the first one, physically sick, but I was really happy inside. I was very, very elated, though I had to, every day was basically we drilled our own water well, so it was kind of survival up in the mountains with basically nothing. So we kind of make things work on a shoestring. We lived in a container truck at the time as well. Kind of this in the front of the truck, we kind of put false grass because we couldn't grow grass in California. We were in Santa Monica Mountains where it's blue rock, so the rock is not really easy to plant. And, But so we kind of made it home, and the view was absolutely fantastic. In that sense, it was good. I think the sense with the husband wasn't too good because suddenly he felt pressured. So there was kind of that tension that was put on to me as well. Even at one point, I think it says never assume the security when I was 7 months pregnant. And I'm like, okay, now you're really putting a seed into my mind and said that whatever happens here, I'll have to just be by myself, because that's the the position you kind of put in, it's like, the detachment of like, hang on a minute, yes, this is my child, but, kind of the relationship here, mentally, I think it was that they kind of put a different stance in it. And then we kind of, from the truck, we had a mobile home after the baby was born. And when I went to the hospital, they were saying, I said, oh yes, I saw my mucus plug, because you know you read about these things and they say mucus plug. Why? Where did you see it? I said, oh, outside, because we had a commode. It's quite funny. And it's like, oh yes, I saw it there. And then they sent us social services because they were concerned that I was living in a truck. They thought I was living in a pickup truck. And when she came, this woman, she went, oh, this is absolutely beautiful. You know, the rocking chair was outside. At the time, it was not even sunny. I mean, it's really rare not being sunny in California. And you can see the mountains, and it was kind of, you know, all the, what you call it, I always forget. It's not the fog, but it's the boom, the fog that came through, and the tips of the mountains just poked out, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I kind of said, well, we didn't really want to live on the grid as such, because we kind of thought, well, why can't we try it here and see what we're young enough, you know? And she's kind of like, yeah, no problem with this, you know. The second pregnancy, yeah, was easy in that sense, but I was happy, you know, I was very elated and very positive. And the third one, well, you know, it was because the boys went to school. And you go, oh, they're all at school, can I do? Okay. And then, right. So that was nice because the boys were prepared, you know, for their brother. We didn't know if it was going to be a girl or boy, but they seemed to be prepared. I include them into everything. I even include them at the birth. I wanted them to be there and to see and to experience and to, you know, to make that bond, you know. So I remember going through, but it was a heavier, I was sick with this, physically sick, which kind of exhausting as well in that sense. And then water retention again. Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, I listened to music a lot. I was very, you know, trying to find peace with the boys. There was that bond was clear. And they've had an extremely beautiful relationship when they were born. You know, when the baby was born, they were part of feeding, because though I was breastfeeding, sometimes we kind of do, okay, let's do bottle so everybody gets to be part of it as well. Well, that was good, yeah. So yeah, there you go. There was always looking after the baby, you know, but they didn't need to. They were not pressurised into, but they wanted to. They would become the protectors.
Thank you so much.